Welcome back, everyone. This is GTA Failer. In our last video, we tackled the Donald Love mission Wakagashira Wipeout. Next up is another Donald Love mission. This one is called A Drop in the Ocean. Two things to mention in the cutscene. First of all, the guy doing Tai Chi with Donald Love is none other than the old Oriental gentleman that we rescued during the mission Liberator. And also, Donald Love is going to talk about a plane flying tonight, but you can do this mission anytime, day or night. Okay, so I'm a little bit behind in terms of reading some trivia from the wiki, and so here's some things I didn't have time to mention in the last video, Wakagashira Wipeout, where we killed Kenji. So the kanji characters for Wakagashira literally mean second in command in Japanese, second in command in the Yakuza hierarchy. This references Kenji's place in the gang, so that's reading from the trivia of the wiki. Of course, first, like the leader in the Yakuza in this game is Asuka, Kenji's sister. Continuing to read the trivia from the wiki, if the player tries to fight off or kills one of the Yakuza members before trying to kill Ken, they will receive a 3-star wanted level. So we saw this in our video, but it also says here this does not happen in the PS4 version. So I didn't know that. And also, the wiki says the LCPD dispatcher makes a specific announcement when you get 3 stars. Quote, call all units, gunfire reported in the multi-story car park in Newport. And then finally, in the PS2 version of the game, most of the Yakuza are armed with M16s instead of Uzis, which makes the mission considerably harder. Okay, so I think we're caught up from last video, and in this mission, in this video, you can see we are headed to the marked boat on the map. And once we get in that boat, we will follow a dodo plane and pick up the 6 packages that it drops, and then make our way over to Donald Love. Apparently he wants these packages. All right, so passing this mission gives $10,000 and unlocks a whole slew of things. So first of all, Shoreside Vale is unlocked after passing this mission, which is really exciting because then the entire map is unlocked for us. And because Shoreside Vale becomes unlocked, you also have access to Gripped, which is the off-road mission that starts over at the park in Wichita Gardens. Of course, we did that mission many videos ago, but it's officially available after we pass this mission. Passing this mission also unlocks the next David Love mission, which is called Grand Theft Aero, and it unlocks the last Ray mission, which is called Marked Man, assuming you have already completed the previous Ray mission called Plaster Blaster. So the last Ray mission, Marked Man, requires 2 missions to be done in order to unlock it. This one here and the other Ray mission, Plaster Blaster. And in fact, after we complete this mission in this video, in our next video, we will tackle the final Ray mission, which will bring us over to Shoreside Vale for the first time officially. Okay, so here we are picking up packages, 1 of 6. Every time you pick up a package, you get another star added to your total. 6 packages, 6 stars, except we're not able to get 6 stars until the next island is officially unlocked, so we will cap out at 5 stars after picking up the 5th and 6th packages. Okay, more stuff unlocked by completing this mission is the final chain of phone missions. These are given by D-Ice over on the last island, Shoreside Vale, and the first phone mission is called Uzi Money. All right, so that is good there. And now we pick up the 6th package, and then you have all the packages, take them back to Donald Love. So this is tricky and can be nerve-wracking because you have a 5-star wanted level, which means the FBI is out. So now I'm going to read from the wiki the trivia for this mission. If the player does not pick up the packages in time, the police will get in their predator boats, the only police use of predators in the entire game, and seize the packages, causing the mission to fail. So I'll show you I'll show that to you in one of my future attempts in this video. And if the cops are out, but you have gathered all the packages, then they'll start shooting at you from their predator. Okay, this is the only mission in the game which features the FBI car. There's one right there, smacking into me, since the player earns a 5-star wanted level. Let's see, we're going to skip that one. This is one of 2 times that the aircraft called the Dead Dodo is featured in the game's missions, the other being Sam, S-A-M, which we'll see later on. So it looks like a dodo, but in the game's script, it actually has the word dead in front of it, like the variable name for the vehicle is called the Dead Dodo, and I'll read about the Dead Dodo later on. Donald Love leaves the player a predator at the exact place where Ray does in the mission Gone Fishing, although using it is the player's choice. So it turns out you don't need to use that predator even though it's marked on the map. And then it says the dead dodo will continue flying after dropping the final package and will actually land at Francis International Airport before despawning when it reaches the hangar it's parked in during the upcoming mission Grand Theft Auto. I'll link a video of somebody demonstrating that in the description below. Matt J155 is the YouTuber's name. All right, here I wanted to know if I get, so here I just used a cheat code to get rid of my wanted level, and I want to know, do I get 1 star here or 5? And you get 5. So it actually isn't adding 1 star. There's the police predator aiming for the package. It's programmed in. It's going to give you like the correct number of stars. It doesn't just add to your previous number of stars. Here we're going to see what happens when the police boat grabs a package. So we're just hanging out, waiting for it to fail me. Last thing from the wiki about this mission. In the definitive edition, the wanted level for collecting all 6 packages was reduced to 4 stars instead of 5. All right, so we fail, and the police boat just takes off. Only needs to grab one. It doesn't care about the rest of them. Okay, so what happens if we rocket the dodo before they drop off the last package? So it's mission fail, and I read in the wiki that the packages remain in the water even though you have failed the mission for blowing up the dodo, and I don't see them. Um, Here I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna blow up the dodo again, but I'm gonna wait for it to drop off the 6th and final package. Do I still fail? Can I see the packages if I wait until it drops off all 6? So it turns out I am going to fail, and I can't see the packages. I don't know what the wiki's talking about here, but I will link a video in the description below. Somebody demonstrating the glitch where the packages are still there even after you fail for blowing up the dodo, but I don't see them. Okay, so here is the challenge that I set out for myself. Can I pass this mission without getting into any vehicle besides a boat? So the first issue is, so that means like running everywhere, right? Run to the boat and then pick up the 6 packages and then run from there to Donald Love's. So the first issue is it doesn't seem like there's enough time to run across the Callahan Bridge and grab the boat before the packages start getting collected by the police. But we're going to set that aside for the moment and assume that I found a way to gather the 6 packages before the police gather one of them. And so the real challenge here is this run to the ending mission marker with a 5-star wanted level and the FBI agents with their very powerful M16s. And here are my attempts at that challenge. There's just so many FBI cars, they don't stop. All right, so we were at like 200 health, now we're down to 50. Getting run over by FBI cars is the theme of this series. 14 health, this is fine. All right, so I figure like if I can try to get off road, I'm trying to get to places where the FBI cars don't go, but there's just a lot of running I need to do on open roads. Leave me alone, trying to like hide behind corners of buildings, hide behind trees. Hide behind, oh, can't hide from that. And then, of course, run over. My corpse is run over by the end. All right, so here's another attempt at this. And I'll keep reading some stuff from the wiki. The video that I'm going to link below for the packages still showing up even after you fail the mission is from the YouTuber ZMIIGZ. ZMIIGZ. It'll be linked below. All right, so we finished reading the trivia from the wiki. Let's read a little bit about the old Oriental gentleman while I run for my life. Shortly before the events of GTA 3, the old Oriental gentleman was arrested after arriving in Liberty City on a private jet plane from an unknown departure point somewhere in East Asia for failing to satisfy the INS. Ouch, I was already dead. I didn't need to get run over by an FBI car. Failing to satisfy the INS that he had a valid reason for entering the country and having no proper travel documents, including a passport and visa, and then, quote, nor a platinum credit card to bribe his way through customs. Well, no wonder he didn't get in. You gotta have the platinum credit card. As a result, he was set to be delivered to a high-security penitentiary before being deported in October 2001. So the first 2 attempts at this, I just ran for my life and died pretty quick. So here, I'm going to take my time and I'm going to try to blow up everything that moves and see if that gives me a little bit more time to make my way to the ending mission marker. Coming back to the wiki, early in GTA 3's storyline, the old Oriental gentleman boarded a police convoy to prison along with Claude and 8-Ball, only to be targeted for kidnapping by Colombian cartel commandos as the convoy crossed the Callahan Bridge, unintentionally allowing Claude and 8-Ball to escape. The gentleman was later held captive by the cartel as they attempted to hold him hostage for extortion money from Donald Love. So the nice thing about this particular attempt here, this clip, is that I'm not going to die at the hands of the FBI, which is it's a welcome change. I am going to die from the water. Okay, next two attempts, I am going to surprisingly head towards Portland. So I had an idea that maybe I could find more places to run off-road on Portland and get to the subway, the underground subway between Chinatown and the red light district. That was my plan. So, all right, technically that subway is also a vehicle, but I was sort of desperate after getting totally wrecked on my first three attempts here. So this is attempt number 1 of 2 on Portland, just trying to get to the underground subway. And again, avoiding roads as much as I can. Okay, continuing from the wiki, under orders by Donald Love, Claude would rescue the old Oriental gentleman. So we did that in The Liberator. The old Oriental gentleman is later seen in the opening cutscene of A Drop in the Ocean. That's this one, joining Love for a round of Tai Chi. And then we will see the old Oriental gentleman one more time in an upcoming mission from Donald Love called Escort Service. And according to the Liberty Tree article, the old Oriental gentleman can speak only 3 words of English, reportedly answering, quote, love and death to all questions asked. Alrighty. Okay, so let's continue reading from the wiki. And now we will share some more stuff about Donald Love, our current mission giver. I'm not going to read about the 1998 timeline for Donald Love because we're mostly just focused here on GTA 3, but I will just reference a few interactions. So here I was intentionally running through, that courtyard because I knew the FBI cars couldn't get there because of those metal poles. I got 72 health, and here I was like, oh, what if I grab the bribe star? Then the FBI won't harass me, but I have only 3 health left, and boom! Roasted. Okay, but that gave me the idea that maybe a bribe star would make this a heck of a lot easier. So here's attempt number 2 on Portland Island. And again, trying to get to that bribe star. That's the goal. Okay, so just reading from the wiki, the highlights of the Liberty City Stories parts, but only as they relate to characters that we know here from GTA 3. So Donald Love works for Salvatore Leone over in Liberty City Stories, and he uses Tony Cipriani for political advantage. He also interacts with the Forellis. We saw them in this game. He has some... Let's see, he employs Cipriani to do something bad to his former mentor, Avery Carrington from Vice City. Donald Love is hired by the Panlentic Company to oversee construction at Fort Staunton. That's the construction area we see in this game, and we will see reference to the Panlentic Company in one or more missions coming up. He ends up killing a lot of Colombian cartel, which makes them mad. Let's see here, and they try to kill him as well. And I think that's good. Yeah. Okay. And also he interacts with 8-Ball a little bit. He buys some explosives from 8-Ball. Okay, got 135 health, running for my life. I juked right, faked that way, and then went back left. Hoping these poles will stop the FBI car. Leave me alone. 129, 116, 103. All right, so I think there's another look out, another entrance here. I just had to get in there. I think I had it, gang. Dying underneath the FBI car yet again. Okay, final attempt at this, and now you'll actually see how I managed to collect all 6 packages without getting into a car first, because you have only 2 minutes to get into a boat and grab the packages before the police do. The cheat activated you just saw there is the double speed cheat. I just decided to save some time as I was doing the footage collecting here by doing the double speed cheat for this quite boring run. So I'm running in double speed. I'm not speeding up this video at all. This is just what it looked like when I recorded the footage. Okay, coming back to the wiki. 2001. Let's see, life until October 2001, which is the start of this game. Donald Love continues to expand his business, also living on a yacht in the Caribbean. He is known to have changed laws, been involved in slum clearance, and opened casinos across the United States in the process of becoming a quote legend, according to a Liberty Tree report. He returns to the city in March 2001 following the return of fellow businessman and rival Barry Harcross and begins to expand his business empire in the city. He reestablishes Love Media and purchases over 900 radio stations, including Chatterbox FM, Double FM, Flashback 95.6, and Head Radio. All four of those are featured in GTA 3. He purchases 300 television stations, 4 networks, 3 satellites, 10 senators, the Liberty Tree newspaper, the Bitch and Dog Food Company, and the 30-story Love Media building in Bedford Point. He also hires an old Oriental gentleman to teach him Tai Chi, sending a private plane to bring him to the city, although the man is arrested by the immigration chief, Ray Mathers. Okay, so here I think we're going to turn off the cheat code, so the rest of this will just be in regular speed now. And also, I wanted to see the police predator boat spawn in. It's supposed to spawn in right in front of me, like pretty far away, like right in front of that concrete wall off in the distance. And it spawns right after the dodo drops the 6th and final package. And so I stayed here like just staring at where it should spawn in, but it didn't spawn in until I looked away. So I don't think it can spawn until you aren't looking at its spawn location. It's kind of shy in that way. So as soon as I look away, you'll see the police boat will be there once I look back. So there it is. And now we will head over here and collect the 6 packages in reverse order. And you can see we had plenty of time to do this because we don't have to go get the marked boat on the map. You can use any boat. Okay, so the new strat here is to head over to Staunton Island to my right and find a police bribe. The nearest police bribe should make it so I don't have to deal with the FBI at a 4-star wanted level. So that's the goal, and we're going to go for the bribe over at Kenji's Casino. Continuing from the wiki, at some point between 1998 and 2001, Love begins to implant his plans to redevelop Fort Staunton with the Colombian cartel and their front company, Panlantic Construction, suggesting he had paid the cartel off. Awesome. Okay, so there's a little bit more to read about Donald Love. We'll have to do that in a future video, but let me read first about the dead dodo from the wiki. The dead dodo is an uncontrollable winged NPC dodo that flies high over the city in GTA 3 and Vice City. So whenever we see a dodo just kind of flying around randomly, it's technically a dead dodo according to the game's script. All right, so here I am just trying to get, please, oh my gosh, I'm so scared. Please let me get to the bribe star in front of Kenji's. The dead dodo is essentially an unobtainable version of the regular dodo. It has a slightly darker skin texture in contrast to its controllable counterpart, along with flashing white and red strobe lights. Its main propeller is static and does not spin, and it only emits sound when the player is near it. Okay, so I got my bribe star, but I don't want to head back in the direction I came from because there's still FBI cars there, and they will still come after me with their very powerful M16s. So I ran the long way around just to try to despawn them. And then new ones won't spawn because I no longer have a 5-star wanted level. The plane is practically gaseous, so if the player somehow manages to reach its set height and attempt to make contact, they will just phase right through it, although it can still be damaged by weapons, and like any vehicle, it can be set on fire. Let's see, in Vice City, it's got a banner attached. Shooting the plane down will result in a wanted level. Looks like 3 stars in GTA 3 and 2 stars in Vice City, but will escalate to a higher wanted level upon it exploding, up to 4 stars in GTA 3. We saw that when I blew up the dodo in an earlier attempt in this video, and 3 stars in Vice City. Right. The dodo prominently is featured in 2 missions in GTA 3, a drop in the ocean, this one, and then Sam, where it actually must be destroyed. So we'll see that. Both planes only differ in the path that they fly. The dead dodo shares the same in-game name with the normal dodo. However, most files call it, quote, dead dodo as a reference to its condition of being unable to be controlled. Let's see here. The use of the destroy all cars cheat does not affect that plane. That's interesting. The message on the banners running behind the dodo in Vice City is Zombie Elvis found, and uses exactly the same picture as the GTA 3 newspapers, the ones that we just see on the ground. Okay, challenge passed. Awesome, awesome. So the rest of this video, I'm just going to go back to the safe house, refill my health, and then head towards Ray's because he will be our next mission in the next video. Continuing from the wiki, um, spawning the plane with trainers or cheat devices normally causes the game to crash. This can be solved by using modifications. Um, on some early copies of GTA 3, there's an unused path for the dead dodo on the game files removed due to developer sensitivity after 9/11. Enabling this path will make the plane fly on all three islands, going much closer to buildings and even flying through the Chinatown building, but this is possibly due to the building being added after the plane's path was changed. Okay, so that is a bunch of stuff about the dead dodo. So let's wrap up our discussion now of Donald Love. He appears in 7 missions here in GTA 3, including a cutscene mission, which we haven't seen yet. In Vice City, he appears in 2 missions, but I don't think he has a speaking role in either of them. And then in Liberty City Stories, he is a main character. He is featured in 14 missions. Most of those have him as a boss. Okay, so last thing to read from the wiki about Donald Love. Donald Love is a cannibal, as seen during the Liberty City Stories mission Campaign, where he eats human ribs and describes human flesh as being, quote, like chicken, but more sentient. He's also known to throw morgue parties, as revealed in both GTA 3 and Liberty City Stories, even having Tony Cipriani steal the corpses of Avery Carrington and Ned Bernard to eat. So that's what a morgue party is, and I wish I didn't know that. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you real soon.